Have you ever noticed how the foods you loved as a child can seem like they're working against you these days? Maybe it's that morning toast you always enjoyed, or the sweet treat you used to reward yourself with after a long walk. Now, when you look at your plate, you can't help but wonder, is this helping me stay healthy, or could it be making things harder? If you find yourself asking these questions, you're certainly not alone. So many of us, especially as we reach our 60s and beyond, start to realize that food isn't just about filling our stomachs. It's about fueling our lives, protecting our bodies, and keeping conditions like diabetes under control. If you or someone you care about is living with diabetes, you already know how quickly things can change with just a few food choices. Maybe you've felt the sudden dip in energy after a simple bowl of cereal, or you've watched your blood sugar spike after what seemed like an innocent snack at a family gathering. It can feel overwhelming, can't it? But here's the good news. You have more power than you think. Small changes in what you eat today can mean more energy to play with your grandkids tomorrow, more confidence to go on that walk, and more freedom to live the life you want. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 foods that might surprise you. They're foods many seniors reach for every day, but they could be making diabetes harder to manage. And because I believe in focusing on the positive, I'll also share some delicious, satisfying swaps that will help you feel good about every bite. This isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about making smart, joyful choices that give you more of the good days and fewer of the tough ones. Let's start with a food that's almost everywhere: white bread. Maybe you grew up with a loaf of soft white bread on the counter, perfect for toast, sandwiches, or even just a little butter and jam. It's quick, it's easy, and it's familiar. But white bread is what's called a refined carbohydrate, which means it's been stripped of most of its fiber and nutrients. When you eat it, your body turns it into sugar very quickly, sometimes so quickly your blood sugar goes on a roller coaster ride. That spike and crash can leave you feeling tired, irritable, and even hungrier than before. If you're not quite ready to give up bread, you don't have to. Try swapping white bread for whole grain or sprouted grain bread. These options are packed with fiber, which helps slow down the release of sugar into your blood. Look for breads with visible seeds and grains, or check the label for at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. You might notice that your energy feels steadier, and your meals keep you satisfied longer. I've had friends tell me that just making this one switch helped them feel less sluggish in the afternoon and enjoy smoother blood sugar readings. Another sneaky culprit is breakfast cereal. It seems harmless, right? Maybe you grew up with a bowl of cornflakes or rice puffs every morning, but many cereals, even the ones that look healthy, are packed with hidden sugars and refined grains. Some have as much sugar as a candy bar. That quick, sweet start to the day might give you an energy boost for an hour, but it often leaves you crashing by mid-morning, reaching for another snack or cup of coffee just to keep going. Instead, why not try a bowl of old-fashioned oatmeal or steel-cut oats? Oats are full of soluble fiber, which is fantastic for keeping blood sugar steady. You can add a handful of nuts, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or some fresh berries for natural sweetness and crunch. Not only does it taste delicious, but it also helps you feel fuller for longer, so you're less tempted to snack on things that might not be as good for you. And best of all, your body will thank you with more balanced energy throughout the day. Now let's talk about a favorite for many, a cold glass of fruit juice. Maybe you like orange juice with breakfast, or a glass of apple juice on a hot afternoon. It seems healthy, but most juices are loaded with sugar, and even the ones that say no added sugar can spike blood sugar just as quickly as soda. When you drink juice, you're getting all the sugar from the fruit, but none of the fiber that slows things down. That means your body gets a flood of sugar, which can be tough to manage, especially if you're already watching your glucose levels. A beautiful alternative is to reach for whole fruit instead. An orange or an apple, eaten fresh, has vitamins, water, and fiber that help your body process sugar more gently. If you're thirsty, try a glass of water with a squeeze of lemon or a few slices of cucumber. It's refreshing, hydrating, and won't send your blood sugar soaring. Plus, enjoying whole fruit gives you the pleasure of taste, texture, and the feeling of eating something real and satisfying. When you start to notice these little changes, choosing whole grains over white bread, hearty oats over sweet cereals, and real fruit over juice, you're not just avoiding trouble. You're inviting better days, steadier energy, and a brighter, more confident you. Every meal can be a chance to take care of yourself, to show your body the kindness and respect it deserves. And as we move forward, remember this: you're not alone on this journey. Every choice you make is a step toward more freedom, more joy, and more good days. Let's keep discovering together how the right foods can open up new possibilities for you so you can keep living boldly and beautifully every single day. As we continue on this journey, I want to remind you that it's not about being perfect or giving up every little pleasure. It's about discovering new favorites and making choices that truly serve your health and happiness. Every small step counts, and before you know it, those steps add up to real, noticeable changes in how you feel from morning to night. Now, let's turn our attention to another food that's a regular guest at many lunch and dinner tables: white rice. It's simple, familiar, and seems harmless, but white rice behaves much like white bread in your body. It digests quickly, turning into sugar that can send your blood glucose soaring and then dipping just as fast. Maybe you've noticed the pattern yourself: a hearty serving of rice, followed by a sleepy spell or a strong craving for something sweet not long after. It's not your imagination, it's simply how your body reacts to these kinds of quick-digesting carbs. Here's where things get interesting. You don't have to say goodbye to rice altogether. Instead, swap out white rice for brown rice, wild rice, or even quinoa. These grains are less processed and packed with more fiber and nutrients. That extra fiber helps slow down how quickly your body absorbs sugar, giving you a smoother, gentler rise in blood sugar instead of a steep mountain. You might find that a bowl of brown rice with your stir-fry keeps you feeling fuller longer, and your energy stays steady, not spiking and crashing. And if you're feeling adventurous, quinoa is a wonderful option. It's full of protein, easy to cook, and has a slightly nutty flavor that pairs well with just about anything. Let's talk about another sneaky food: flavored yogurts. Yogurt is often seen as a health food, and it can be, but many of the ones you find in the dairy aisle, especially the fruity, low-fat kinds, are packed with added sugars. Sometimes, a small cup of flavored yogurt has as much sugar as a dessert. It's easy to think you're making a good choice, but that hidden sugar can play tricks with your blood sugar and leave you feeling less than your best. Here's a simple shift that can make a big difference. Choose plain, unsweetened yogurt instead. Greek yogurt is a great option because it's higher in protein, which helps keep you full and doesn't spike your sugar as much. If you find plain yogurt a bit too tart, try adding your own fresh berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe even a few chopped nuts for a little crunch. Not only are you cutting out the unnecessary sugar, but you're also adding fiber, vitamins, and flavor the way you like it. You might be surprised at how quickly your taste buds adjust and start to enjoy the natural sweetness of fresh fruit. Next, let's address a food that's hard to resist and often finds its way onto the table when you're out with friends or grabbing a quick bite: fried foods. French fries, fried chicken, crispy fish, all those golden, crunchy favorites. While they taste delicious, fried foods can be a double whammy when it comes to diabetes. The breading or batter usually contains white flour, and the frying process adds a lot of unhealthy fat. Together, these can make blood sugar harder to manage and increase the risk of heart problems, which are already a concern for many people with diabetes. But here's the good news: you don't have to give up crunchy, satisfying meals. Oven-baked versions of your favorites, or using an air fryer, can give you that same crispy texture without the excess oil and refined flour. If you're making chicken or fish, try coating them with whole grain crumbs or crushed nuts, then bake until golden brown. Even homemade sweet potato fries, tossed with a little olive oil and roasted, can hit the spot. These swaps are delicious, and your body will thank you for the lighter, more nourishing choice. As you try these new foods and flavors, remember that food is meant to be enjoyed. It's not just about what you're avoiding, but about discovering what you love. Those nourishing, satisfying meals that leave you feeling good hours after you've eaten. Every time you choose a fiber-rich grain, plain yogurt with fresh fruit, or a crispy baked treat over a fried one, you're sending your body a message. I care about you, I want you to thrive. And isn't that what life is about, especially now? Thriving, not just getting by. Enjoying meals, not fearing them. Sharing food and stories with the people you love, and knowing you're doing what's right for your health, one delicious bite at a time. With each new choice, you're building habits that protect you from the ups and downs of blood sugar swings. You're giving yourself more energy for the things you truly care about. Whether it's gardening, dancing, volunteering, or just enjoying a sunny afternoon with a good book. There's still more to discover about the foods we eat and the choices we make. As we look at the last few foods on our list, remember that you're not just saying no to old habits, but saying yes to a future filled with strength, balance, and the freedom to live your life to the fullest. As you build up these new habits, it's incredible to realize how much power you have over your own well-being. Even the smallest changes at the dinner table can ripple out into every part of your day. You begin to notice you're waking up with more energy, moving through your afternoon without that heavy, sluggish feeling, and maybe even looking forward to mealtimes with a fresh excitement. And that's what this journey is all about, discovering how a few thoughtful decisions can open the door to more vibrant, joyful days. Let's turn to another food that might be sneaking into your meals more often than you realize: processed meats. Things like sausages, deli turkey, bologna, bacon, they're convenient, familiar, and often end up in sandwiches or breakfast plates. The trouble is, processed meats are usually high in sodium and saturated fats, and some even have added sugars. These ingredients can raise blood pressure, make it harder to manage your blood sugar, and put extra strain on your heart. For seniors managing diabetes, that's a combination worth paying attention to. But you don't have to give up your beloved sandwiches or hearty breakfasts. Try swapping out processed meats for fresh, lean proteins like grilled chicken, turkey breast, or even a homemade egg salad with just a little light mayo and lots of fresh herbs. If you're craving something with a little more flavor, roast your own chicken or turkey at home, slice it thin, and keep it in the fridge for easy meals all week. You'll get all the satisfaction with much less of the stuff that can throw your blood sugar and your heart off track. Now, there's one more food that trips up a lot of folks, and it's especially tricky because it's everywhere: packaged snacks. Crackers, cookies, chips, and snack bars often seem like a harmless way to tide you over between meals, but most of them are made with white flour, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. They're designed to taste good and be hard to stop eating, but they rarely fill you up or give your body the steady energy you need. Instead, they often lead to blood sugar spikes, cravings, and that all-too-familiar crash not long after. Here's a gentle shift. Try reaching for whole food snacks that give you both energy and satisfaction. A small handful of unsalted nuts, a few whole grain crackers with hummus, or some fresh-cut veggies with a little low-fat cheese can make a world of difference. These snacks are packed with nutrients, fiber, and protein, so they help keep your blood sugar steady and your hunger at bay. You'll likely find you need less to feel satisfied, and you won't be left searching for another snack an hour later. Throughout these changes, remember that your taste buds can and do adapt. Foods you once found bland can become your new favorites, especially as your body begins to thank you with more energy, steadier moods, and better overall health. Many people are surprised how, after a few weeks, those old cravings for packaged snacks or sugary yogurts fade, and suddenly a bowl of fresh berries or a slice of whole grain toast with nut butter tastes like a treat. All these adjustments aren't just about restriction, they're about freedom. Freedom from the roller coaster of blood sugar swings, from the worry that comes with every meal, and from the tiredness that can creep in when food isn't working for you. You're not missing out. You're gaining so much more. Clarity, energy, and the confidence that comes from knowing you're caring for yourself in the best way possible. And it's not just about you. Every healthy choice you make is an example for your loved ones. You might even find that your family starts to follow your lead, swapping white rice for brown, or joining you for a bowl of oatmeal in the morning. The kitchen becomes a place of exploration and togetherness, where you're not just making meals, but making memories and investing in more good days ahead. As you move forward, keep celebrating every little victory, whether that's choosing nuts over chips, savoring a homemade yogurt parfait, or simply pausing to notice how much better you feel. These are the moments that build a foundation for lasting health and happiness. No matter how long you've been living with diabetes, or how many times you've tried to make a change, today is a new day. There's no finish line, just a series of small, loving choices that add up to a life you can truly enjoy. So let's keep building on what you've started and see just how far a few simple swaps can take you. As you reflect on these new habits, choosing hearty whole grains over white bread and rice, swapping out sugary snacks for nourishing ones, and reaching for fresh fruits or plain yogurt instead of their processed counterparts, you might be surprised at how much brighter life feels. Every meal becomes an act of care, not just for your body, but for your spirit as well. It's about more than numbers on a chart or readings on a monitor. It's about giving yourself the chance to enjoy every day to the fullest, with energy, clarity, and peace of mind. You may have noticed too that these changes don't have to be complicated or expensive. Most of the swaps we've talked about can be found at any grocery store, and many are simply a matter of picking up something you already love, but in a slightly different form. Whole grain breads, fresh lean proteins, a bowl of steel-cut oats, a handful of nuts. These are satisfying, delicious, and most importantly, they empower you to take charge of your health. Don't let anyone tell you it's too late to make a difference. Every positive choice counts, no matter when you begin. I know it can feel daunting to try something new, especially if you've been eating a certain way for most of your life. Maybe you're worried about missing out on old favorites, or you wonder if your new meals will measure up. Be gentle with yourself. Give your taste buds time to adjust and allow yourself to discover new foods that bring you joy. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. Invite a friend or loved one to join you on this journey. Experiment with new recipes together, share successes and challenges, and make the process something you look forward to, not something you dread. It's also important to recognize that change doesn't happen overnight. Some days will be easier than others. There will be moments when the old cravings return, or when convenience tempts you back to familiar habits. That's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one choice at a time. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and forgive yourself quickly if you slip. Progress is built on patience and persistence, not perfection. If you found these tips helpful, or if you have favorite swaps of your own, I encourage you to share them in the comments below. Our community is stronger when we support each other, and your story might be the encouragement someone else needs to take that first step. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more down-to-earth advice on living your healthiest, happiest life after 60. Your voice and your journey matter here. As you head into your next meal, remember, you hold the power to shape your health, your mood, and your future. Every whole grain, every colorful vegetable, every fresh snack is a gift you give yourself. An investment in more vibrant days, more laughter, and more time to do what you love. Diabetes doesn't have to define you or limit your possibilities. With knowledge, a little creativity, and a lot of heart, you can write a new story. One filled with hope, wellness, and joy. Here's to savoring every bite, to living boldly at every age, and to believing in your own strength to create lasting change. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep taking care of yourself and keep shining, because you truly deserve it.